one. Wasn't any good? Hell yeah, it was any good. Actually, it should be called the best Transformers movie of 2024 in my opinion. But that should be a fact soon in the future. Here we are at the movie Transformers 1, directed by Josh Cooley and released in September of 2024. So, we're going to be reviewing this entire movie. And this video is a non-spoiler video. So get ready to learn review about Transformers 1. So let us get our transformation cogs and let us transform our gears and let's review the movie Transformers 1. Without further ado, Autobots, let's roll out! Transformers 1 is a movie all about the origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron on how they went from friends to enemies. You know, that kind of movie sort of thing. Which also makes you want to question, is this movie even good? If you haven't seen the movie, well, I'm gonna give you one straight fact right here that this movie is the best movie of 2024. I mean, all of you should be speechless when watching this movie. It should be one of the ones that should be having the Oscars of 2024 actually. Chris Hemsworth had to come in as the role of Orion Pax since Peter Cullen had to be recasted after he's been Optimus Prime for such a long time. And of course they had to have Chris Hemsworth just because it's an origin story and you can't have the original voice actors. Frank Welker did not also appear as D16 because of course they had to recast it with Brian Tyree Henry, which also could have given this movie such a good rating. I dislike IGN's rating on this thing, but this movie, in my opinion, 10 out of 10. That's what I'm talking about when you make a Transformers movie, you know? The producers put a lot of comedy, emotional, and shocking scenes which will make you stand in your seat in the cinemas. And it will also make you scream your ears out on how good this movie is. I mean, you know how the rivalry begins, but you haven't seen the rivalry starting like this. Just a dark story between Optimus and Megatron on how they became friends to enemies. Also, Optimus wants to rebuild the future. Could have built it, but Megatron has changed paths, as you all know, because Megatron is one of the evil sort of people that doesn't want to change the future and wants to keep it the way it is. But this movie can make you just amazing, and the emotional scenes aren't really that emotional, but once you give it like that, that movie is gonna make you stand in your heart forever. So let's start with number one of this review, the Transformers designs. So let us go right now. So we've all met with crappy designs and then good designs, but we can't always decide with them since the crappy designs always end up being the good designs in the start. But this movie is different. The crappy designs make it look so bad at the beginning, but as they become Optimus Prime and Megatron and all the other characters from the Transformers franchise, this movie makes it just amazing with the design. Makes it just a good 10 out of 10. The producers had to make a good animation and SFX to make the movie sound realistic but with no humans. Now, how did they manage to pull all of that off? Well, the designs can help with all of it. Well, actually, the designs were actually supposed to be based off the original G1 franchise, but after learning that this movie would be in 2024, they scrapped that idea and turned it into a new design for the Transformers, all originating from Orion Pax, D16, B127, and Elita 1. And RC barely plays a role. Unlike every single Transformers movie, RC has to have a role in movies. Instead, they had to give the cast to Elita 1, which replaced RC. But I don't blame her. I don't blame anyone because Elita 1 did get more screen time in G1. But we're not talking about G1. We're talking about the best Transformers movie ever. You know, if you don't understand how good this movie is, you need to understand on what it is like. To be honest, Transformers movie should have been like this from the beginning. I mean, don't you want to see Optimus Prime as like Chris Hemsworth? Imagine if there were like two versions, the Peter Cullen voice actor versus Chris Hemsworth's impression. I mean, you really want to see that, you know? So that's my rank for the designs. So the designs get a solid 10 out of 10, which is why it's so good. Now getting to number 2 of the topic of this review is going to be the plot. So let's transform the plot into a better way we have on Transformers 1. If a Transformers movie is what you want, they'll give you one. And there isn't a Transformers movie without a plot. Of course, the plot is what makes the movie good or great. Some say that the plot can be mediocre at sometimes, but this movie had to make it into a S tier. S tier. So yeah. Anyways, let us continue. So the plot starts off not that good, but it has to be somewhat amazing at one point, but others dislike the plot and they say that the Transformers 1's plot could be way more better than we could have anticipated. But people don't know what it feels like. Just because having Sentinel Prime back in another film, which he did return back in, this film had to introduce Sentinel Prime once again. But if you don't know his design, instead of being red, he is blue. And of course, he acts the same way as he is in Transformers Dark of the Moon. He is still a trader of the primes, and that's his characteristics, and blah blah blah. But anyways, the plot isn't really that good at the beginning, but the way showing that the matrix of leadership has disappeared, that's what everyone looks forward to. I'm not going to tell you anything that what happened in the movie. Like I said, this is going to be a non-spoiler video with nothing happening in the movie. So yeah, so now let's head into the third installment of this to this third installment of the review. I mean, the vehicle designs. So let us review the vehicle designs for the characters. Anyways, let's review the vehicle designs of none other than the film Transformers 1. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's not talk about that. Now let's talk about the what do you call that again? Vehicle designs. So here we have Orion Pax is design, his vehicle design. Yeah, I couldn't really find the actual design because all I found on Google was just this toy, but it still counts. So anyways, the design is just simple but in a Cybertronian way of like a vehicle form, but this is such a good vehicle form, and the way that they added turrets to the front is what makes it such good, because it also has weaponry to defend yourself whenever you want to scan this. So we're gonna be ranking this in S tier because it's such a good vehicle form. But I didn't expect we're gonna be ranking stuff, but this is gonna be just one ranking, and the other vehicle designs we're not gonna be ranking because this is just a review on the damn movie. So let's continue. Yeah, here we have the vehicle form of B-127 from Transformers 1. Once again a toy because I can't find any of the images, but this makes you feel the full potential of B-127. Despite being a jokester in the film, he actually shows quite a lot of potential, and you know, this is probably the reason why they gave him such a good Cybertronian vehicle in Transformers 1, which is why I can agree on why this vehicle design is good. So yeah, that's the reason why I like Transformers 1. It's not just the vehicle designs, but it's like this. But anyways, let us now move on to the next character design. I mean vehicle character design. Um, yeah, let's go. Here we are with Alita 1's alt form from Transformers 1. You know, it's a simple motorbike in a Cybertronian form, but Alpha Trion shows the potential and skills in Alita 1. In Alita 1, in Alita 1, I don't know how much Alita 1 I said, and this shows her true potential as a worker of the Autobots. So I mean, female leader of the Autobots, which is why RC can just swipe out the way. We already have Alita 1 for the job, so that's Alita 1's vehicle design. Last but not least, we have D16's alt form, just a tank as we all have known him. So yeah, those are the vehicle designs of every single Transformers 1 protagonist. Now, let's head on to the fourth and final review. The score and star rating of the film Transformers 1. So, Transformers 1. What's my personal score on this film? Well, honestly, so I rate it 10 out of 10. Yep, you heard me. This movie is 10 out of 10. Yep. This is the best Transformers movie that I've ever seen. Like, you have to really watch this movie. My rate of it is 10 out of 10. So thanks for watching, and all you Autobots better transform and roll out. Woohoo! Alright, that's a piece. Goodbye.